My name is Emily Westbrook, and this is the story of how my sister's darkest hour became the turning point of her life. Being the daughter of a powerful hotel, Mogul had its perks, but it also meant living in my sister Caroline's shadow, as she effortlessly inherited our father's legacy. Growing up in the heart of Florida's extravagant resort world, Caroline was always the star, outgoing, magnetic, and perfectly poised for the glamorous world of luxury hotels. I was the quieter one, far more interested in market strategies and financial forecasting than in dazzling hotel guests. Our father, Marcus Westbrook, ran the Orchid Crescent, a world-renowned resort on the shores of Key Biscayne. Caroline was his golden child. "Take notes from your sister, Emily," Dad would always say as the elite walked through the doors. "She knows how to make an impression." Caroline would greet them with charm, while I'd slip into the back office, analyzing balance sheets and trends that spoke to my heart. Our mother, Veronica, often tried to bridge the divide between us, but even she knew Caroline was meant for the spotlight. "Different strengths, darling," she'd say when Caroline was promoted to assistant general manager, while I juggled my MBA at night. Then, there was Alex Chen. I met Alex at a quiet cafe one afternoon. While buried in finance textbooks, he was a far cry from the flashy hotel world I'd grown up with, cerebral, understated, and more interested in discussing corporate mergers than the latest resort opening. We bonded over our shared passion for business strategy and the satisfaction of building something meaningful. What I didn't know at the time was that Alex was the heir to Cheng Global Enterprises, a vast hospitality conglomerate based in Hong Kong. He was in Miami under the radar, learning the ropes of the business before stepping into his family's shoes. Caroline was the first to express her disapproval of our relationship. An investment analyst, she scoffed one evening at a family dinner. "Come on, Emily, you could have at least dated someone in hotel management." Dad chimed in, "Sweetheart, think of your future. The hotel industry is about connections. If only they knew." Alex and I married in a small ceremony, just the two of us in a private garden. Only Mom was there, as Dad and Caroline had their business commitments. It didn't matter to us. We were building a life in our own way. As Caroline climbed her way up the Orchid Crescent, eventually becoming the assistant general manager, I finished my MBA and joined Alex at Cheng Global's headquarters in Hong Kong. We agreed to keep my role. Low-key, I would earn my spot on my own merit, not as his wife. For 3 years, I climbed the corporate ladder within Cheng Global, hiding my connection to Alex. My background in finance and hospitality gave me a unique edge, and I helped lead our expansion into Europe and Southeast Asia. By the time I was promoted to Chief Strategy Officer, I had orchestrated acquisitions worth billions. Then, Caroline's wedding day arrived. She was marrying Nathaniel Wright, the heir to the Orchid Crescent's ownership. The wedding was said to be the event of the decade, a week-long celebration at the luxurious resort that had been our home. Dad was thrilled. His darling Caroline was cementing the family's legacy in the world of high-end hotels. I arrived alone. Alex was tied up with meetings in Hong Kong. Really, he was negotiating our next big deal, but I didn't feel the need to share that with Caroline. The moment I set foot on the property, I knew something was off. My reservation had been mysteriously cancelled, and Caroline greeted me with a forced smile. "Ah, Emily," she said, coldly, "since you're so interested in the behind-the-scenes of hotels, I thought you'd like to experience it firsthand. From the very bottom." With a snap of her fingers, the housekeeping manager appeared, holding out a maid's uniform. "What is this?" I asked, though I already knew. "Well, we're short-staffed for the wedding," Caroline said with a false air of concern. "Since you don't have that impressive husband of yours with you, you might as well pitch in. Think of it as your gift to me." Dad stood by, visibly uncomfortable but silent. He had always been weak around Caroline. "You want me to work as a maid at your wedding? Consider it a learning experience," she smirked. "Maybe this way you'll understand what it takes to be in this industry. The uniform should suit you." I thought of Alex, of our thriving life in Hong Kong, and the deal that was going to change everything. I could have walked away, but a part of me wanted to stay. Maybe it was to show Caroline that I wasn't the same little sister she used to mock. Fine, I said, taking the uniform. Where do I start? Her smirk grew wider. The bridal suite needs some cleaning. Try not to embarrass me. As I changed into the uniform, I called Alex. They did what? His voice was sharp. It's fine, I reassured him. How's the deal going? He paused. The board meeting just started, but you sure about this? I smiled, remembering the insider details I had gathered. Let her have her moment. Call me once it's done. For the next 3 days, I cleaned rooms, delivered fresh towels, and watched Caroline bask in the luxury of her high society wedding. She made sure to point me out to her guests, laughing about how I was enjoying the simple life. Can you believe Emily actually enjoys doing this? She should have stuck to finance, I overheard her say to a friend. Thank God I inherited Dad's ambition. She had no idea that while she was busy planning her wedding, I was orchestrating a $5 billion acquisition that would soon change the entire hospitality landscape. Then came the morning of her wedding. The chaos in the bridal suite was palpable, dresses strewn across the room, champagne everywhere. Caroline was seated in the middle, acting like the queen of the event. Emily, she called out as I entered. Perfect timing. There's champagne by the window. Try not to draw too much attention to yourself. Her bridesmaids giggled. I kept my expression neutral, cleaning the mess while listening to them discuss the wedding's extravagance. I'm running the Orchid Crescent soon, Caroline bragged. Nathaniel's father is retiring, and then we'll own this whole place. Emily, you missed a spot. I was on my knees when my phone rang. The classical ringtone caught my attention. The board meeting had ended. Housekeeping staff are not allowed phones, Caroline snapped. I stood up slowly, pulling out my phone. I need to take this. If you answer that, you're fired, she warned, smirking at her control. I hit accept. Hi, honey. Alex's voice filled the room, and I put him on speaker. The board meeting just wrapped up. The $5 billion acquisition is done. Chain Global now owns the Orchid Crescent and their other properties. The papers are being signed as we speak. The room fell into stunned silence. Caroline's champagne glass slipped from her hand, crashing onto the floor. What did he say? She whispered. I adjusted my maid's uniform. Oh, did I forget to mention? My husband is Alex Chen, CEO of Chain Global Enterprises. We've been working on acquiring the Orchid Crescent for months. The door burst open, and Dad rushed in, looking pale. Caroline, Nathaniel's father just. There's talk about the hotel sale. His words trailed off when he saw me standing there, phone in hand. For the first time in his life, he truly saw me. Would you like me to connect you with the new owners, Dad? I asked quietly. Caroline's eyes filled with disbelief. This is some kind of joke, right? You married an investment analyst? Well, I replied, you assumed I married an analyst because you thought I didn't belong. You thought I was less capable because I wasn't playing your game. I turned to the window, watching the sprawling estate below. While you were learning to charm the rich, I was learning how to build empires. The next hour was chaos. The sale was confirmed. Caroline alternated between tears and accusations of betrayal. Why didn't you tell us? Dad finally asked, sinking into a chair. Would you have believed me? I asked, or would you have assumed I was lying to make myself seem important? Just then, Alex entered the suite, impeccably dressed. Caroline's bridesmaids gasped as they recognized him from business magazines. Mr. Westbrook, Alex said, shaking Dad's hand. I apologize for the timing, but business is business. However, we're not disrupting your wedding. The Orchid Crescent will still be yours to manage. Caroline, under Annalie's leadership as the new regional director, of course. Caroline Francie, mascara running, you're going to be my boss. Only if you want the job, I replied, but this time, we'll do it my way. No more playing favorites. We built something real. The wedding continued, but much more quietly. As I sat at my place, no longer in a maid's uniform, I looked at my family differently. Dad, now with new eyes. Ma'am, finally proud of both of us, and Caroline humbled but perhaps ready to grow. Later that night, Dad pulled me aside. "I was wrong," he said softly, "about so much. I know. Will you teach me how to build this empire properly this time?" I smiled and hugged him. "That's what family is for, Dad." In the months that followed, the orchid crescent became a symbol of everything we'd built together. Caroline and I found common ground, merging her passion for hospitality with my drive for business success. Dad became part of our board of advisors, and together, we transformed the legacy of our family hotel into something that would stand the test of time. And me, I walked through the lobby each day, remembering where I came from and how true success doesn't come from luxury or fame. It comes from the courage to lead, even when no one expects it.